It's Felice, totally awake, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, then welcome. Now today, I just wanted to talk about the video I got a chance to see of Smurf Girls last night. I send all of my love and condolences to her. Very sorry for her loss. This Smurf Girl is a JW cult survivor, okay? She's an activist in the JW community. She has really good videos exposing a whole lot about the Jehovah's Witnesses. Her channel, I've been watching for years now, and I really found interesting because, you know, she revealed herself as Smurf Girl, and she revealed herself as the girl, you know, that we all knew about as Jehovah's Witnesses, about, you know, the Smurf that got up and was walking in the hall, okay? And that's why we couldn't look at Smurfs. We couldn't have any toys that were Smurfs because Smurfs were demonic. So her story, immediately, you know, when I found her channel, I was, you know, intrigued and just fascinated with her story, just knowing like, oh my gosh, that was you. And she even says in her video, like, that was me. And you know, they make it seem like this demonic crazy thing happened when she reveals that, you know, it was just her, it was her dressed in a costume. And, you know, it wound up just being funny to her family members because they knew that it was just her in a costume, and everybody else thought that it was just, you know, Smurfs were demonic, and some kind of way a big giant Smurf was walking out of the Kingdom Hall, because I remember hearing that story when I was a kid and being puzzled as crap, like, so that's why we can't watch the Smurfs and stuff, like, and it just didn't make any sense. But anyway, 3 of her family members were killed by her uncle. He killed her other uncle and her aunt, and also their unborn baby, and left behind their little young son. Now he, you know, like she said, he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have anybody to take care of. And I just think it's really sad because she also mentions how, you know, this was on the news and everything, but she mentions how this is the same aunt that
the same uncle that molested her
when she was a little kid, and no one believed her. The Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, they do have a 2-witness rule where you need 2 witnesses to have witnessed the act or the crime of, you know, abuse. When you don't have any witnesses to CSA, then they do nothing. They pray over the matter and they leave it in Jehovah's hands, you know, because if the accused is denying that they've done anything wrong, there's no other proof in the Jehovah's Witnesses' eyes that they did anything wrong. And so they feel like it's slander, you know, if you just go along with what the child is saying, you know. But it's not their jobs, and it's not their position to handle such situations and such crimes. These crimes should be reported to the proper authorities. And perhaps had, you know, her uncle been reported to the proper authorities a long time ago when he was molesting her, then perhaps there wouldn't be a homicide right now, you know, where he's killed 3 of her family members. This could have been avoided if he was already where he belonged, in jail, in prison. But you can't do that when you have an organization that gets in the way of justice. And that's what happens with the Jehovah's Witness organization. Their policies and rules that they have in place gets in the way of justice. Gets in the way of victims, you know, being able to heal the way that they should and need to, knowing that, you know, there is some repercussions for what was done to them. But many a times in the Jehovah's Witness organization, it's not any repercussions. And that's why it's referred to as a pedophile's paradise, because pedophiles are able to come along and get away with these type of things because of these rules that's set in place. And you see a lot of the times the parents, you know, they don't want to go over the elders and, you know, report these things anyway because they don't want to bring reproach on Jehovah's name. And, you know, and a lot of times the elder will tell them, well, you don't have any proof anyway. But, you know, like I said before, my child is all the proof that you need. Because when you go to the police, that is not going to be the response of the police saying that you don't have any proof. Okay? You give them a name, and that's all the proof you really need when you come to talking about hurting a kid. You know? So they're going to do the proper investigation to find out what happened and get to the bottom of things. They're specialized to do that. Even when it comes to, you know, asking questions to the accused. They may be able to trick some elders, Jehovah really, because the elders thinking that they're getting their blessing and the Holy Spirit is guiding them to know whether these elders are telling the truth once they go back in the back room. But they don't have Jehovah's Spirit ain't back there at all. So definitely the police is who we need to call to be able to, you know, try to get the truth and try to get to the bottom of these type of cases. Jehovah's Witnesses harbor these type of men. From what I hear, he was, you know, in Bethel and everything. And it's just like, you think he's a upright, outstanding guy. And I've heard so many stories like this where, you know, these men had prominent positions in the congregations and they were monsters that hurt kids, that hurt their own family members, nieces, daughters, you know. So I've heard this story way too many times. Then she talks about how, you know, her grandma died about a year ago and how at the funeral, you know, she was shunned, okay? And how her dad sat right there and talked to her uncle right in front of her that he knows, you know, hurt her when she was a kid. And, you know, I'm just like in tears as I'm listening to the video. Like, I'm literally crying with her because it's just so unfair, you know. And I have to admit, you know, in the video, I'm crying. I'm in the middle of tears, and she is too. And then in the middle of the video, when she shows a picture of her uncle in comparison to Tony Morris, I'm like laughing now in the midst of tears just for that moment. Then I went back to crying, but I did appreciate, you know, her humor in the video, even though it was such a sad video. It felt good, you know, just to know that she's just so funny still. And even in the midst of us crying with her, we was able still to get a little laugh in as well. You know, you have to kind of laugh to keep from crying, you know, when it comes to some of this stuff. But, you know, the fact that she was able to just get a little chuckle, like, look at my uncle looking just like Tony Morris. And when you think about Tony Morris, you can't do nothing but laugh, because it's just like, you know what, you're so sad and sick that we just gonna laugh at you, Tony, you know. So I did get just a little chuckle out of that, and I was back to crying listening to the rest of the video. But she talks about, you know, how some people have been so mean in her comments and thinking that she's weird and, you know, criticizing her because, you know, she's not on camera. The videos that she has, you know, she doesn't show her face. You know, she's just talking to us. And I appreciate it. You don't have to show your face. And I'm glad when she did show her beautiful face. But, you know,
I have appreciated her content.
I appreciate all of these activists so much. You know, everybody plays a special role in the community. You know, and even if you haven't started your channel yet, when you do, you're going to play a special role in the community as well if you're thinking about starting a channel. There's no job application that you need to do it or anything. But anyway, going back to her saying, you know, how people think that she was weird and this and that. You know, some mean people. And it's just like, shame on you, you know. Look. Now do you understand why this girl didn't want to show her face? Because she was dealing with and telling secrets about dangerous people. that's capable of doing some, some real harm. I mean, not only is her uncle a rapist, but he is a murderer. And Watchtower could have prevented this if it wasn't for their evil policies that do not protect children. A part of me was skeptical about, making this video and wanting to talk about this because it's her story, but at the same time, as she's saying, everybody needs to know about this. Please share this. And so definitely I want to share her video. I'm going to leave a link in the description or in my comments so that you can check her video out. Please go watch her video. I wanted to talk about it and kind of share my thoughts and my reaction. And just, send my condolences. She said in her comment, this needs to stop. The pedophile list doesn't work. You just simply having a list of pedophiles and knowing that, okay, these people have been accused, so let's keep track of them. That doesn't work. That doesn't, prevent something like this from happening later on down the road. Those people belong in jail so that they won't have an opportunity to hurt anyone else in any kind of way. Because some of them, you just don't know what they're capable of. This needs to stop. The 2-witness rule, it needs to go away. Okay? And, we just need to bring all of the awareness that we can about this. People need to know. People need to know the danger that there is in the Jehovah's Witness organization. It's a dangerous, captive organization, and it hurts people, and it gets people killed in many different ways, whether it's refusing life-saving blood transfusions or, they're, harboring criminals that later on just keep committing crimes that, are taking people's lives and hurting people. So that's all I really have to say for now. I have to go in the store. But I did just want to talk about that and just share my thoughts on how sad I think it is. That shouldn't have never happened. And I'm so sorry, Smurf Girl, for what you're going through. Just sending my love and my condolences. So let me know what you guys think about this down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And make sure to check out Smurf Girl's video. Thank you. See you in the next video.